Hello everyone! Garry Kasparov and Magnus Carlsen played 3 games together. All 3 games were played in 2004, and this game here, it's the first game Carlsen gets to play against the former world champion Garry Kasparov. The game was played on March 17, 2004, and it wasn't the part of tournament. It was a part of an opening ceremony that was before the tournament. The tournament was the day after on 18th, and in the tournament Carlsen will get to play against Kasparov and the other players to more games. So it's quite an interesting game, and since Kasparov retired in 2005, 2 of them never got a chance to play again in an official game, but I've seen Carlsen in numerous interviews that he really wouldn't mind playing against Kasparov in any terms, but such an event never happened. So let's see this game. Kasparov has white piece and he open up with c4. Carlsen plays knight to f6. We have knight to c3 and g6, so the English opening g3, c5, bishop to g2 and knight to c6. We have knight to f3, d6 and d4. C captures on d4, knight captures on d4 and bishop to d7. Kasparov castles. We have bishop to g7, both sides simply developing the pieces. Knight to c6, Kasparov captures, bishop captures on c6 and e4 now. Carlsen castles. We have bishop to e3, a 6 now. We have rook to c1 and knight to d7 by Carlsen, queen to e2, b5 now, and b4 by Kasparov, and this is the first moment that things starts to happen. Probably the best idea for Carlsen would be actually capiature. B captures on c4. Seems like somewhat of a counterintuitive move, but after B captures in c4 and queen captures, knight to e5, attacking the queen and also protecting bishop on c6, and after something like queen to b3, bishop comes to b5. Attacks the rook, and either you move the rook or probably the best thing would be to exchange. Knight captures bishop on b5, and after a captures on b5 the material is equal. Carlsen has a nice rook on a8. Kasparov does controls the c-file, but you know it's a playable game. After b4 Carlsen went for the immediate knight to e5. Kasparov played pawn captures on b5. We have a capiatures on b5. Knight captures on b5, bishop captures, and queen captures. So far Kasparov is up a pawn, but Carlsen can capture. With rook captures on a2. I really have no idea why this move wasn't played, as black is perfectly fine here. All of his pieces nicely develop. Okay, Kasparov does have a firm grasp on the c-file, and it is kind of difficult to decide what to do with the queen with black and how to develop the rook on f8. So maybe that's the reason why Carlsen didn't go for this rook captures on a2, but the knight is perfectly fine on e5, and okay, white would eventually kick it with f4 if you want to, although this will open up his king a bit. But instead, this queen to b5 by Kasparov. Carlsen didn't capture the pawn. He played queen to b8, probably with the idea that if Kasparov captures the queen, rook capture now, Carlsen will win back this pawn or both of them. But after this queen to b8 now, Kasparov played a4, and a4 is a very dangerous move. If Carlsen plays any slow move other than capturing the queen, then Kasparov will play bishop to b6 and he will push a5, and this bishop and pawn will be completely protected, and Kasparov will keep the 2 pass pawns. So Carlsen captures on b5 and we have a captures on b5. Now Kasparov has a pass b pawn, but they are doubled. Here rook f to b8 was played and b6 by Kasparov. The bishop is nicely protecting this b6 pawn, and this is the critical moment of the game. Here Carlsen has to play rook to a4, and after something like rook to a4, you are not allowing to push b7 with the tempo. Also, you are attacking the b4 pawn, and after something like f4, after you kick the knight, then b7, rook capture, and now e5, you open up a discovered attack from bishop to rook. Rook capture the other pawn. Now rook to c7 attacking the knight, and after knight moves, rook capture on e7, and white is clearly better, but if it is enough the game, it's hard to say. But after this b6 move by Kasparov, Carlsen plays the move Tay absolutely blunders. He plays knight to g4. He attacked this bishop that is protecting the pawn on b6 with the idea that the bishop doesn't have anywhere to go. d4 is covered by the bishop on g7, c5 is covered by the pawn. So Carlsen's idea is to capture this bishop and capture the pawn on b6. But here Kasparov simply plays b7, and in this position Magnus Carlsen resigned the game. Why did he resign? It's pretty obvious your rook is attack on a8, and if you move your rook, for example rook to a4, then simply rook to c8 and you are losing the game. If you capture, the rook capture simply promotes to the queen. This will come with the check. If you don't capture, you simply take the rook and you are up the whole rook. And in the other hand, if you capture the pawn, then simply e5. You are capturing either of his rook. This is winning. So yeah, hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.